DAZN Shootout Episode 3, our weekly soccer debate series, of course. The Champions League back and the home on DAZN Canada of the Champions League. So, our question for Greg Brady, quite simply, is Zinedine Zidane the best UEFA Champions League coach ever?
Well, I was going to say we'll know in a few weeks, but I think somebody I'm talking to right now has already decided. So I'll throw a wild card into the mix. I thought a lot about Carlo Ancelotti. I really did. He's got 3 titles. But Jose Mourinho, I know he hasn't won in a decade. I know he may not get there again anytime soon. But his performance in 04 and 10, pretty incredible to win with lesser teams, underrated teams, upset-minded teams. That's my pick.
Well, the irony is Jose Mourinho couldn't deliver the Champions League to Real Madrid, and Carlo Ancelotti could, and he'd be right up there as well. But Zinedine Zidane, my word, you're right. Every time he's been in the Champions League final, he's won it. And you have to also look at the love affair as well as a player where he won it. There's only 3 players who've scored in a Champions League final and then won it as a manager. He's one of them. Who could forget that volley in Glasgow at Hampden Park for Real Madrid against Bayer Leverkusen? But in 12 knockout stages at ties of the Champions League, you know how many games Zinedine Zidane has lost, Greg?
1?
0. He's not even lost a knockout game in the Champions League. So Jose Mourinho can do this, he can do that. And I know you're going to say, oh, he did it with unfashionable Porto and he got the Inter Milan team. Fantastic achievement. But Zidane has walked in there with no managerial experience into that Real Madrid expectation cauldron of you must deliver. And anyone who's ever been to Spain and been around Real Madrid and been to the Bernabeu will know that La Liga titles are great. Spanish Cups are okay. You have to deliver the Champions League, the European Cup. That is it for Real Madrid. And Zidane has done it whenever been asked.
But here's what I'll say about Jose Mourinho. I give him the 2 titles, obviously, in 2004 and 2010 with 2 different teams. And I do say, I think you'd have to say, Steve, he laid some of the groundwork for the Real Madrid players and the Real Madrid infrastructure that Zidane inherited. I know it didn't go right from Mourinho right to Zidane, but there's a little bit of influence there. And just like I'd say, he won't get credit for it. And this is what I'd say. He really needed to win in Moscow. He really needed that group to win in Moscow, though he wasn't managing the Chelsea group when John Terry slips on the penalty. That's his team. He basically deputized a bunch of players, John Terry and Frank Lampard being the obvious ones, to become the leaders. So that manager just, I agree, it got a bit comedic with all of Roman Abramovich's managerial changes after Jose Mourinho, in, out, in, out. Even, Chelsea hero Roberto Di Matteo wins the Champions League, and he's gone several months later. But nonetheless, I think Mourinho's fingerprints are all over Chelsea's. But that group in 2012, it made me think of Mourinho the second they had that triumph in 2012. You made the point with Zidane, and the only thing I'd counter is, if it's so difficult with Real Madrid to win, you would think somebody with managerial experience would have to have managerial experience to pull it off. But he's found a way to make it look easy, which makes me wonder, Steve, is it easy with Real Madrid? I don't know.
Well, Jose didn't think so because he couldn't deliver the Champions League, and that was one of the reasons why Real Madrid got him out of that Bernabeu door. And by the way, he'd long gone by the time Chelsea got near to that trophy in Moscow as well. And also, I would ask you this question: when do you think he's going to deliver a Champions League again? Are you going to get Tottenham fans into this dream world, Greg?
Yeah, Spurs fans have some hope. Here's what I'd ask, though. Pep Guardiola, because let's talk about that. Let me lay that out, and maybe I'd even switch my candidate. If Pep wins with Man City this year, is he in that Zidane conversation for you?
Yes, but he hasn't won it for 9 years, and you can argue that terrific Barcelona team, probably one of the best teams I've ever had the privilege of seeing live. I was at the Wembley final when they beat Dortmund, and also when they beat that terrific Manchester United team as well, when Messi was at the peak of his powers. Now, you can argue that it's easy to win a Champions League when you've got Messi like that, as you could do with Zidane because he had Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. But good players help good managers. He hasn't won it with Bayern Munich. That was a frustration, those semi-final heartaches. And he hasn't yet won it with Manchester City. If he could win it with this City team, then yes, he has to be in the conversation, Greg. Let's stay on the Champions League theme then on Shootout. Let's get down to it, Greg. Who is going to win the 2020 Champions League title?
Well, we were waiting all spring to really find out. And of course, we'd have known for months now in any normal year. So the fact, Steve, that this has been a very abnormal year tells me we might have an abnormal champion. I don't see Bayern Munich winning. I don't see Man City winning. I think Paris Saint-Germain is going to be that team. We're going to see a Brazilian in Thiago Silva lift the Champions League trophy.
Unlikely, because I just don't think Paris Saint-Germain have got the all-round know-how and experience. They live with that expectation with all the money they spend in France. I think the winner's going to come from the other side of the draw. And everyone might expect me to say Bayern Munich with Lewandowski et al. But I'm going to go for Manchester City. And I'm going to give you a caveat as brackets, as long as Sergio Aguero is fit to play, because I think he is the difference. Those fine margins in the top league. Pep Guardiola knows this. Aguero's the difference. I think they've had the heartache this season of obviously the Premier League. The FA Cup was a shock to them as well. Pep, let's be honest, is desperate for this. Manchester City have one more trophy missing from this incredible 10-year story, and I think they'll get over the line this season, Greg.
Well, Pep is desperate, and Pep is certainly due. You do wonder if the former sort of cancels out the latter a little bit. I'll tell you what you've done, too, to Canadian soccer fans. You've got a lot of Man City fans watching us on DAZN Canada, and they're thrilled. Steve Bauer says we're finally breaking through every European nightmare, whether it's been on a Wednesday night, on a Tuesday night. It's all over. But Alphonso Davies fans, this is the second time in a row. First, you said you'd rather have Christian Pulisic more than Alphonso Davies. Now you're telling me we don't get to watch the prodigal son in the Champions League final on his own. But it's okay. It's okay.
Will beat Bayern Munich in the final. So, and you're Canadian, so that's even worse.
You're right. I'm actually predicting Alphonso Davies' heartbreak on a bigger stage.
Have you got a French grandmother?
I think 1/16th. I think I'm 1/16th. Amidst all the Irish and English in my blood, there must be some French somewhere. I know it's a bit of it's a bit more of a look at the draw scenario, and you referenced it. Look at that bottom half. This is like trying to enter Wimbledon, and you've got Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic all on the bottom side of the draw. Well, you know that two of them aren't even getting to the final. And that's my concern with Man City. They may need to score 2 goals to end up beating Real Madrid. Real Madrid's going to come after them. They're already a goal down. Bayern Munich looks safe to get to the next stage, obviously, with that 3-goal edge over Chelsea. Look at the road for Paris Saint-Germain. Even if Kylian Mbappe is not ready to play against Atalanta, they've got the side to beat Atalanta and get through to the semifinals. So I think PSG, we underrate their group stage as well. They beat Real Madrid 3-0 last September. They rolled them, as a matter of fact. Not an easy group. They had Club Brugge in there. I know Galatasaray is a bit down this year, but they rolled over them. 17 goals scored, Steve, 2 given up in the group stage, and they've obviously been very good. Comeback win against Borussia Dortmund. I also think PSG is going to be motivated because their domestic season got canceled. They've watched the Bundesliga play. They've watched the Premier League play. They can't wait to start playing football again. As you know, anything can happen once you get to the Champions League semifinals and finals.
It can. They might be motivated, but they might be a little bit rusty as well because they won't have played for a long, long time while the other guys will be coming in with a bit of domestic momentum. But I'll tell you what, if Paris Saint-Germain are crowned champions in Lisbon, I will take you to the very top of the Eiffel Tower on me. Now, the other thing, of course, is on the 21st on DAZN, you'll see the Europa League final as well as all the knockout games as well. There could be a double Manchester winner because City could be winning the Champions League. I fancy Manchester United to go all the way in the Europa League, Greg.
It's very, very possible. I know it's, again, we talked about it on previous shows. It's not the outcome Man United wants to ever be playing in the Europa League. Liverpool supporters would say that. Chelsea supporters were there a couple of years ago, and they would say that too. But it's very, very possible. And the last thing any Man United opponents in Europe wanted to see was a team so galvanized in the return to play. And you're absolutely right. It could be a great triumph heading into trying to win the Premier League and get back to Champions League glory next season.
So exciting, DAZN fans. All Europa League and Champions League games and both finals on DAZN's platform, of course. Greg and I will see you soon on Shootout.